Jai Hind everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss about the Chachro raid of 1971, which is India's most daring surgical strike in Pakistan. In 1971, when the entire Pakistan army was guarding every inch of its country's borders with tanks, cannons, rockets, about 2 dozen Indian commandos drove 80 kilometers deep into Pakistan, struck at Chachro, Verwah, Nagparkar, and Islamkot, and hit supply depots and killed several enemy troops. Not only did they travel 500 kilometers across the enemy territory, but also returned with no losses, along with 20 Pakistan troops as prisoners. This was the first known and by far the most successful surgical strike scored by the Indian Army. On Western Front, 10 para commando was tasked to carry out a series of raids on enemy positions across international borders. The aim was to assist own operations and weaken the Pakistani line of communication in the Barmer section. The army had been planning for such surgical strikes since the 1965 war and had trained two teams of commandos, Alpha and Charlie, from 10 para known as Desert Scorpios, for 5 months before the start of 1971 war. The raid began on December 5th, 2 nights after the war opened. The Alpha team, led by 2nd Lieutenant Abraham Chakov, drove the whole night slowly and quietly. But early morning, the enemy spotted them and fired from atop. The commandos took cover, but were certain that now they would be outgunned and outpowered. At that moment, Nayak Nihal Singh took a jeep and drove it at breaknecking speed, firing madly from the mounted light machine gun. As the enemy, now distracted, thought a tank was rolling towards them. The other commandos opened up their 18 machine guns in unison. The enemy fled, the riders captured the post. Next, a Pathfinder team crept ahead looking for a route for the Alpha team to attack the wing headquarters of Pakistan Rangers in Chachro. Before first light on December 7th, they not only found a route but also the Alpha team had raided the target at Chachro and killed 17 enemy troops and captured 12 alive. The post and prisoners were handed over to the 20 Rajput Regiment of Indian Army. The Charlie team crept back to India, but the Alpha team drove quietly to the Verwah during the day, risking their capture. They reached Verwah close to midnight and launched their assault at 2 am. They crept towards Pakistan Rangers camp and assaulted it with 12 light machine guns. The enemy fled and the army took Verwah. Without wasting time, they now rushed to the Tehsil town of Nagparkar and captured it before daybreak of December 8, 1971. Soon the regular infantry of Indian Army caught up with them, took charge of prisoners, and the raiders returned to their base in India with no loss. The raid on Chachro was the most significant amongst these raids and one of the most successful raids conducted by the Indian Army inside enemy territory. Chachro was an enemy position located more than 50 kilometers inside Pakistan. Having successfully completed their task, the columns returned by 10th December 1971 with 17 prisoners of wars and a large quantity of arms and ammunition. The bold actions of the Indian Army troops in depth area severely dented the enemy's morale and his will to fight. The entire operation helped in capturing large areas of territories by the main forces following in its wake. The operation of 10 para commando was awarded the Battle Honour Chachro and Theatre Honour Sindh. The war in East officially ended on December 16th when Lieutenant General A.A.K. Nazeez surrendered at Dhaka. But there was mop-up task left in the West. There was an ammunition dump to be taken out in Islamkot. The raiders reached the target before daybreak of December 17th but found out the dump empty. While driving back, they spotted an enemy convoy, ambushed it and killed about 20 enemies. Lieutenant Colonel Bhavani Singh was the overall military commander of the Chachro raid. The operation is lauded by military historians as one at a par with British Special Air Services raid on Germany airfield in Fuka, Libya during Second World War. Bhavani Singh was awarded the Mahavir Chakra. Thank you so much. Jai Hind. Jai Hind everyone. In this video, we are going